And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, my wife's birthday. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks to Adam for doing the show yesterday. I had things to take care of, and it turns out Spectrum, my internet, was down anyhow. Couldn't do a thing. Had to go to a Courtyard Marriott today to go to work. Took them a day to get it back up, but it's back up. That's the good news. Hey, this is serious talk on everything that affects you, and doesn't matter if it's the markets, the economy, your job, your industry. The lion sacks in Washington, D.C., and boy, are we getting full of them right now. And anything else that matters. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. Just put our name in. And if you'd like to email me, just be nice. Just be nice. That's all. I have to tell you, I got a call from somebody who I really like, and I think really likes me, and said, I'm whining too much about Washington, D.C., namely President Trump. I'm not whining enough. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's do something important. We told you Michigan was going to win the NCAA tournament a while back. Best team. Adam told you our bet for first off, we went 1-1 in the Final Four. Lost Illinois, played terrible, and won Michigan going away. And we told Adam to tell you last night, our bet is Michigan to win last night. The line was 6.5, and we weren't thrilled with the line. They ended up winning by 6, so they didn't cover. That's why we said money line for the bet. I must tell you, Michigan played terrible, couldn't hit a three-pointer. The turnovers, how many layups did they miss? And they still won. They're a much better team. Congratulations. We nailed it for the whole tournament because we're good at that. On to what do we do next? We're not big on the baseball. We got to wait for football season again and go 10-1 again in the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. As you know, we pick our spots. We don't believe in gambling a lot. I have a good friend who, by the way, can you call somebody a good friend that you have never met in person? I have a good friend that's one of the greatest sports handicappers I've ever seen. And you know, they used to have these little infomercials, these sports handicappers. They were all full of crap. My buddy is amazing. Do you know how tough it is to win 57% of the games? In the NCAAs, he was 66%. In the tournament, I don't dare play the tournament. Anyway, I'm not giving out names. Only gamble what you can afford. That's all. Case closed. So, we told you Joe Biden was the worst president ever. We'll get in the markets in a minute, I promise. One of the main reasons was on purpose they opened the border and lied about it for 3.5 years. They started doing something about it with 6 months before the election when their poll numbers were worse than root canal and jock itch. And then they blamed it on the Republicans. It was pretty funny. And, of course, the media, who sucks, gave him all the backing of it. To me, that was impeachable. You're opening the border and you're hardly vetting people, and you're sending them at 2 a.m. on airplanes to cities. That's going to cost them millions, if not billions of dollars. Get out. You should be gone. Not to mention Afghanistan. Not to mention he rolled up the size of government like it's no tomorrow. Quote, A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have a complete and total regime change where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary or wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. Quote, Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one, in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, you crazy bees, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. Notice my silence. In case you do not know, ain't nothing going to happen at 8 p.m. tonight. Nothing going to happen. No civilization's going to be lost. They're not going to kill every person in Iran, not going to nuke them, not going to take out electricity and power plants and this and that. And those that love him say, oh, he's just trying to do this, that. Well, I got news for you. What was it, 3 months ago? He said that they obliterated their nuclear. Then right before they went in again, they said they had 2 weeks to get nuclear. Let me just tell you this. I'm so sick and tired of his lying, it's not even funny. I'm rooting for him. I'm praying for him. I'm hoping for him. He's going to be president for almost another 3 years. But this is just, all my MAGA friends don't even want to mention his names. I have MAGA friends that are so neck deep with Trump, they won't even mention his name anymore. And you know why? Because they were told for 10 years that George Bush and the Cheneys are the neocons and the interventionists, and he won't do that. Oh, we're going to take Greenland. Oh, we're going to take Venezuela's oil. Oh, we're going to take Iran's oil. Oh, we're going to go into Mexico. You got to be kidding me. And then if MAGA's leaving, and by the way, this is for all you that love him, if MAGA's leaving, the independents are gone. Go look at the independent numbers. What he's done, first off, setting a precedence for the next guy is ridiculous. But for what he's done, do you know what's happening in the next 2 years come January? They're going to subpoena every one of the Trumps, every one of the cabinets, everyone involved like Kristi Noem and whatever with all that corruption. They're going to impeach him, and they're going to bottle up everything. That's what he has earned because of everything he keeps doing. They are going to wipe out the Republicans in the House, and pretty darn sure they may get the Senate now, even though there was no chance of that. And people are going to email, oh, Gary, let me tell you something. Those that keep saying he's wonderful, doing everything right, he's the greatest, you're the enemy of him. Ones who critique him and get on his back are his best friends, because they're going to get destroyed in November. They're going to get destroyed. And you're going to get Speaker of the House Hakeem Jeffries. Enjoy. Just letting you know. And now this farce that we are seeing with war. Social media posts on war and death and destruction and killing and maiming. Sure, let's post social media and let's make up stories. Let's keep making up stories. Oh, we're negotiating with them. We're talking with them. No, we're not. We may have a deal. No, you don't. Do you know how many BS stories have come out? Do you know there's a ton of people, Republicans, that believe Iran over him now? I'm sad. And now just letting you know, nothing's going to happen tonight. It's all a bunch of bull crap. There's some people that probably front ran the market today. It reversed to bet. It was down 400-500, whatever. It reversed right at the close. We all know that's happening also. We also know he's pardoning a bunch of white-collar criminals that committed massive fraud that never have to pay restitution to their victims. And we find out they all gave millions of dollars to his campaign or his super PAC. Sure. I got news for you, kids. This ain't a game. It's not a game. Massive taxes through tariffs and changing every 15 minutes and every day and every other day. Products, countries, that wasn't a game. But did people die because of that? This isn't a game now. This is war. Up next, we'll put a bow tie on it. Can't wait for the hate mail. And the markets up next. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. There's not one thing I said that wasn't the truth, and I can go further, but I'm not. It's heartbreaking. This whole thing came from our President of the United States saying 2 weeks until they have nuclear. The month before he said, we obliterated the nuclear. And they went in. How many of our soldiers are dead and injured? I don't even give a crap about the air, the machinery that's lost. And now the BS. Now the BS. So tonight, I'm pretty sure there'll be some sort of, I don't know if you call a ceasefire. Or something like that. But there'll be some stoppage. And that's that. And who knows from there? I wish him well. Because it's on us. All right. So by the end of the day, they leaked all kinds of stuff. They waited till 3:15. Around 3:15, 3:30, all of a sudden, well, people are calling it the taco, that he's tacoing again. You know what that is, right? If you go put up taco and Trump, it comes up. For Trump always chickens out. But we're not going to call it taco. We're going to call it, oh man, I really went too far. Let's get something done here. So something will be done tonight. To what extent, I don't know. They'll have some sort of something or other. Market probably gaps up as oil drops tomorrow, and we'll see what happens from there. Can I be wrong? Just like the NCAAs and the football games, my handicapping is based on past performance. I'm not so sure I'm going to be wrong. I hope I'm going to be right. And that something good comes of this. And we can get the hell out of there. And we don't have to do this anymore. And then we'll go back to tariffs. That's a little sarcasm. Is that okay, sarcasm? All right. And do not forget, and let me repeat one more time, ones who just say, yes, sir, are in the wrong. Those that call them out are in the right. It's becoming nonsense. Okay. The markets. The Dow finished down 85. The S&P was only up 5. The NASDAQ up 21, NASDAQ 100 up 10. That's not even the story. Because of the president with his ridiculous social media posts, asinine, not worthy of the presidency, a whole civilization will die tonight. The markets opened poorly. I think at one time today, we were down 450 and 350, so we had a reversal, but a news-driven reversal again. And we're only in April of 26. Got 2.5 more years of who knows what's next. I guess Pakistan came in requesting a 2-week extension that was planted on purpose to save the day. And we'll see what happens. That said, a few points. Markets. Before the war, we were range-bound. I want you to remember that. Before the war, there were a lot of areas in real bad shape. Before the war, transports were strong. Before the war, the small and mid caps were stronger than the large caps. By the way, they still are on a relative basis, all that. Before the war, the artificial intelligence plays in the areas of fiber optics, optical, data storage, memory, some of the building, construction, and energy of the data centers, strong. Very weak software of all stripes, and continues to be. Though there was some news late in the day or early in the day, I'm not even sure when in the day, there was this thing about the software security stocks and a company called Anthropic, that it was going to threaten CrowdStrike, Palo Alto. Well, CrowdStrike today was up 24. Palo Alto was up, let's call it about the same amount percentage-wise, because this Anthropic, and you can go look them up. Let me just read the first paragraph. Today we're announcing Project Glasswing, a new initiative that brings together Amazon Web Services, Anthropic, Apple, Broadcom, Cisco, CrowdStrike, Google, JP, and Palo Alto Networks in an effort to secure the world's most critical software. We formed Project Glasswing because of, in other words, they would now be working with them and not against. So CrowdStrike, Palo Alto had a very good day. A couple of other software securities were up. Maybe that changes the playing field, not sure. Still very weaker. Oracle, SAP, Salesforce.com, Adobe, and the like. And most software in bear markets, but maybe a little change. We'll see. Up next, we'll go into other areas that may or may not change overnight. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Thanks for being with us today. I still can't get that Michigan game last night. They played terribly and still won by 6. That's how good that team is. They played terribly. Anyway, we nailed it. From first tip, we were saying Michigan's winning this thing. I should have bet the whole tournament and I didn't. Dummy. We have to do that next time. Now we're in baseball season where the Mets are going to disappoint me. Right? And the Yankees are playing really good ball. And do you know the Dodgers spent in salaries, more than 8 teams total. But they're getting it all back. Ended up being a smart thing. All right, what else I got for you? So I don't know what changes overnight. I don't know what happens at 8. I have a feeling what's going to go on. We're just letting you know today the retail was very weak. Housing stocks just obliterated even more. One of the areas we've been telling you to avoid is housing. And man, wow. Somebody actually put a sell recommendation on all the housing stocks, just about all. And in case you don't know, and as we've said to you, we are constantly on Zillow and Realtor.com, just going through certain cities. Inventory continues to be gargantuan. And Fantasyland's coming down. It's not a crash. It's a normalization from that Yutz, Jay Powell, who created this whole frickin' dislocation. Just remember, things that happen now are outcomes of policy from a while back. We want you to remember that one person, and again, we have no idea how we got to the point where one person could have such power. That goes for the presidency too now. But Jay Powell, one person, was able to print to $9 trillion. He didn't start at zero. Take that money, sit at a desk, and buy up the whole frickin' bond market. Bought up the 10-year yield till it went down to 0.5%. And of course, Wall Street's going to go along with it. Of course, if you bought it at 0.5%, you're screwed. You got to wait 10 years to get your money back. You're probably down $1 zillion at this juncture. And what that did is, nobody wanted to sell because everybody's getting 3% less mortgages by refinancing or buying new. And when nobody wants to sell and there's no inventory, prices skyrocket. And that's what happened. And then you had a little bit of the COVID thing and people going from blue to red states. And you had just crazy moves up. And now the moves are coming down. Some people call it a crash. It's not. It's normalization. When a house goes from $1 million to $3 million from 2021 because somebody puts it up for sale there, it doesn't mean it's $3 million. And I can tell you, because I watch, I've seen houses that went from 1.5 to 5 that are at 3 now, 9 months later, and still ain't selling. So Fantasyland is occurring. And where it stops, I don't know. If we go into a jobs recession, which is arguable, we had a decent month last month, but I can pick it apart. And the trend has not been great. If we go into jobs recession or recession, then it'll get worse. But for the stocks themselves, stay the hell away. Stay far away. Apple, weird day. Finished down 5.5, which is not a good day, but was down 13. It was said that their new foldable phone was going to be delayed. 3 hours later, it's not going to be delayed. So it's only down 5. Going nowhere. In the big caps, just nothing going on. Broadcom was up 19 today, but still just nothing range bound. 200-day moving average. Nothing happening. Some news with Google. Nvidia was flat today. The stock is still, amazingly, what are we, in April? Is trading where it was last July. What is it? That's 9 months, right? And can't even get above the 195 area and is still down from 212, 22, 12, 30. It's only down about 16%. That's not a big deal. But in the context of the semiconductors have been so damn strong, it has us, what's going on? Especially with accelerating earnings and revenue. All the major averages are still below the 200-day moving average. Want to see that get above, and it will when the president changes his mind again. Just remember, he knows that we cannot stand where oil prices are. By the way, oil prices hit 115 today, closed at 112, and that's why the market reversed, because they're playing with you. And now we'll see what comes of tonight when they come up with something. And they'll take it as a win no matter what, which is fine and dandy. That's what one does when they screwed up everything and didn't believe that oil would go to 115 and the market would drop and diesel whatever. So you got to figure something out and just say we won because your military's so strong. By the way, I forgot to mention that rescue. That was amazing. Our men and women in uniform, anybody spend 15 minutes and read up how they got that guy out? A miracle of technology and people. I forgot to mention that. To me, that's amazing. I hope when you all see veterans and military people, I am hoping you all salute, because I don't think they get enough. I really don't. They should be on a pedestal. Every one of them. I told you I'm a wimp. I got hit by a paintball. I whine like a little baby. These people are dodging bullets and bombs and mines and missiles. Quite amazing. I wish I had so much more to tell you, but it's going to all depend. Just remember when we had the tariff thing, the market went up 2,500 points in 20 minutes after the crash. And for the life of me, I don't know how you catch a 2,500 Dow point move in 20 minutes when it happened so suddenly. And then they say, not true. And it goes back down on that Monday. And then on the Wednesday, they finally say it's true because they didn't want to do it Monday because of the leak. Hey, welcome to our world. There's still a ton of stocks and a ton of areas in bad shape. And we'll see how it plays out. Now, let's do the if. If tonight something not good happens, well, we'll probably roll back over tomorrow, but there's no way. The president put himself against the wall this time, even more than the BS deadlines before. And I don't think he can back away now. So I think they'll come up with something. We have told you, Coherent, Ciena, Fabrinet, GE Vernova, Corning, Lumentum, Powell Industries, Seagate, SanDisk, Teradyne, Vertiv, Western Digital, top line names. Other names that hold the 50-day are all have potential. 70-some-odd% of the market in our mind is still in bad shape. But that can change with news in the most news-driven environment ever. And we'll see how it goes. Watch the semis and watch the leading names. The semiconductors back at the 50-day moving average of very big importance. Up next, this, that, and the other thing. Whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Thanks for being with us today. The Masters is this week, and I'm very mad at the Masters people. You can't get aftermarket tickets anymore. In case you know, they call the spectators patrons there, and the tickets are owned by people, and you used to be able to go on the StubHubs and all that crap and get tickets. You pay up. I once paid $1,500 as high as $2,500 for a day. They're not allowing them anymore. I didn't even know, because I went last year with one. They were taking people's their badges, I guess, and kicking them out. So the average Joe ain't going to the Masters anymore unless you win the lottery. And I got to tell you, I've been doing that lottery for 40 years, and not once have I got. Not once. I've never got Wimbledon, been doing that for decades. I got the Ryder Cup back in 2016 for the Minnesota one. It's the only time I've ever won one of those lotteries. Only time. The Masters. And Tiger Woods. The thing we teach our kids, some of the things we always tell you about, one of them is never piss on prosperity. This is the king of that, unfortunately. The good news is he wasn't injured on this latest accident, and I guess he's addicted to painkillers. And as I've told you, I'm the opposite of addictive to anything, except General Hospital and professional wrestling. But that's not an addiction, is it? And Rush. We hope he gets better. Aftermarket, I'm seeing a little movement to the upside. They're all yapping away now about something's going on, and they just set it up to make it better. Probably nothing really comes of it, except they just want to get to the point where they get out of this for now. And then, so you're going to get something tonight. Just so happens something came out of Pakistan after midnight, 30 minutes before the U.S. market closes. I got news for you. And you may believe me or not, nobody believes anything that's coming out of the White House anymore. By the way, we're going backwards too, not just this one. Nobody believes squat. Nobody believes squat. Anyway, we'll see how the night goes, and what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Yay. Yay. Next, earnings next week. Just so you know. It starts with the banks, and we'll take it from there. The banks, importantly, acting a little better. Bank of New York and Citigroup are actually above the 50-day moving average. If they can get going, I think Bank of New York's probably the better one. Others are below and need work. Hey, late breaking news, the Democratic Party are now calling for Trump to be removed via the 25th Amendment. They didn't do that for Joe Biden, did they? Yeah, they put it in. All the Dems. All the Marxist Party want him out. And you can go look up what the 25th Amendment is. Yields today were flat, but they'll probably come down because they closed at 3 o'clock. They'll probably be down tomorrow. In fact, 10-year yield, let's see what I got afterwards. Yeah, it's down a couple. Yeah, it's moving down. Bitcoin, still nothing going on. It's still in what we call a bear flag. And if it breaks below, good night. Before we can even talk anything decent in there, it has to get back above the 50-day moving average and just do something. It's been dead meat, and that's inclusive of MicroStrategy, Coinbase, and all that. I also have to mention they're even destroying more than nuclear, rare earth, quantum, and all those we warned you about. We hoped you listened. I can tell you, back of the piece of paper with a pen, I think on average they're down 60 to 70%, all those no sales names from the highs. And a month before the highs, because they went a little longer, we warned you. And we simply said eventually all these no sales things will go back to where they came from. We didn't know the timing. It just happened to be a month later. And my poster child, OKLO, 193.84 down to 46.59. And boy, the insiders are selling. And they still have no sales. And it still has a $7.2 billion market cap. Came from $10, I believe. It was a SPAC. So that's a big word to the wise going forward, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll have another round of froth eventually down the road. Some weird things, some weird themes, some weird memes. And they'll all get crushed again if nothing changes. So they've gone after everything that has no sales, very little sales, and lots of losses. And we warned you big time on the rare earth stuff. No sales, rare earths. And we warned you, how about LTBR that's gone from $31.34 to $10.32. It's been public for 25 years. Still has no sales. How the hell does something like that keep trading? Symbol LTBR, go figure. Anyway, should be an eventful evening. Let's hope we get the hell out of there. You have a great evening. Drive carefully. Be careful with the hate mail. And when you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family and hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Peace out all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.